Yo, what's up, everybody? It's J2O, keeping it real Forest King. I'm out here with Paul, and he's doing his thing big on YouTube with the live trading, mainly during the Asia session, but he probably let us know any new updates. So, Paul, glad to have you on for this interview.
Thanks, man. Appreciate the invite.
And can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, like your background, and how did you get started trading with Forex?
Yeah, I'm 25 right now. I started about two years ago in a couple months, give or take. And I was Uber driving at the time and just bodybuilding and driving. And my buddy told me about it. We found this dude on Instagram that did it, and it looked like a scam. So he actually signed up first just to make sure it wasn't. So we both didn't waste our money. And then turned out it was legit. And then just started learning from there. And then I think a year into my journey, I found like the Forex family, Rakil, Ted, Monty, and them, and everything just became history after that.
So basically you say Ted and Monty kind of help introduce you into Forex?
Uh, no, the guy who introduced me was D Gibby Fit. He's a good friend too. That was the guy we found on Instagram who did it. He actually introduced us to it, and then like I said, a year later, found Rakil, Monty, Ted, and then they kind of gave me some stuff that I didn't really realize was important, like risk management, trade management, all that kind of stuff. And that after I learned that stuff, it really started to excel really quickly, especially
Yeah.
with the live streams that Rakil has. It was really easy to learn because like he's taking the trade in front of you. He's not just like marking up a chart that's already happened and saying, well, this is what it did kind of thing. He's saying like, okay,
Yeah.
if this happens, then this will happen, and then you kind of watch it happen in front of you. It was just so much easier to learn and learn quickly that way.
Yeah, I feel like it's good seeing people trade live in the live market when things move in real time, because many people could back test and show you how to trade, but it's not the same as live because things could happen. You had to learn to adjust or what if scenarios, stuff like
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, anyone can just go on TradingView and mark up a chart that has pushed up 100 pips and say, oh, you could have just bought here at the bottom. It's like, well, no, duh. Like you see it happen. Like, of course you would buy there, but you don't know that when it hasn't done the move yet. So having someone there to kind of do that and walk you through that process really is just really cool. And then I really liked helping people and whatnot. So then I started a stream, and then yeah, we just kept rolling.
that. So, how would you say did you start to build your following? Is it basically when you join up with Monty and Ted that's your following start to grow?
Yeah, once I started to get my foot in the door with my own style of trading and get pretty comfortable and confident with what I was doing, Rakil and Ted helped me grow a ton because they were always sharing my stuff for me. Like whenever I would tag them on Instagram, they would always repost it or they would shout me out or something like that. So that grew it a ton initially, and then ever since the YouTube, it's just consistently grows. I don't know, 50, 100 people every couple days, every week, and YouTube really helps a lot as well.
And I know you probably get this question asked all the time. How do you handle the question when people ask, "Is forex a scam?" So I know many people who trade, especially who do well, people will ask "Yo, is it a scam?"
I just laugh, to be honest with you. Um, it depends on the person. So if they're super bullheaded and they don't want to listen, they don't they can't understand any other perspective than their own, then I don't even waste my time. I'll just laugh. I'm like, okay, you have your opinion. But if someone's a reasonable individual that can be like, this is what I think, but I'm open to hearing you out kind of thing, then I'll really kind of get into it and explain it a little more. But I mean, it's just like stocks, but it's a different market. And if someone can't understand that, it's just they just got to go do the research on their own to really see that it's not a scam. Or I mean, the way I like to look at everything in life is like you can't really have a like for sure set opinion on something until you go do it yourself, kind of thing. So like if you just talk about something you don't know about and you're like firm on it, but you've never even done it yourself, I feel like you're kind of misleading people that way.
True. Like especially when once you finally get your first withdrawal, no matter what amount it is, like that sounds like a good indication that it's real. You can like do this again or even get better once you
Hmm.
really make your first withdrawal. Many
Yep.
people just don't really know until they actually, you know, truly withdraw.
Yep. Yeah, you just got to do it and you got to try it, and then you can make like a for sure opinion on it, kind of thing.
I agree. And let's talk about just like Asian sessions, because I know like that's how I found you. Because I know it's Wickstone live trades, the New York session live streams, Monty London, and then you're on Asia session. So
Yep.
that's when I went on your streams and then was watching. I guess most of you guys trade GBP, JPY on all the streams. It seems like that's like the main pair you guys trade.
Yeah, GJ's kind of the baby.
And
GJ's a go-to.
so what made you want to like focus mainly on Asia session
Uh,
for these couple months or?
yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was just kind of like that niche. So nobody did or does Asian session because it's not like the most optimal session. But the way I see it is there's still people out there that have full-time jobs that can't do London, can't do New York, like the like construction workers or like laborers during the day. Like they're working, I don't know, 10, 12-hour days sometimes. They're not going to get up at 3 a.m. to London. Like they got to work. They got to pay their bills. They got responsibilities. They can't be jeopardizing their sleep, which will affect their work, which like if they lose their job, that would mess that up. So they can't be doing London and New York. So the only session they can actually show up to is Asian session. And those people still, even if we can't take a trade like last month and so far into this month, where there's really not been any good Asian session volume to do anything, but we can still like answer questions, go over some charts, and hopefully at least get their foot in the door and get them on the right path to be able to do those more optimal sessions. But they can still take advantage of the slower sessions, regardless of if we get a trade or not, kind of thing. So it's instead of just leaving those people behind because hey, the session sucks, let's
Yeah.
just not do it. There's still people there that can only do that session. So we can still try to help them a little bit, but it was that and just nobody did it. And I felt like I could help some people that were kind of getting left behind.
That's true. And I know like for Asian session, like they have like good news like the AUD. So like I know like in the past I mostly like focus on Asian session mainly for like the news when there's like news events because that's obviously more movements in the market. But I know like right now, ever since Corona, things changed. The little market's a little different right now. And lately, this season of summer, the summertime season, Asian session is like not looking too good right now. But
Yeah, it
hopefully things
was.
change.
Yeah, it was. Up until about like the past 5 weeks, I think it's ranged every single session. And last month it caught me almost every session, which was unfortunate. But we learned to move on. But before that, I think that was kind of like peak Corona season or whatever you want to call it. It was moving incredible. Like we'd see 10 to 15 pip move pre-Asian. Then we'd see like a 20, 30 pip move within the first hour of that Tokyo Open. And then we'd see another little 10, 12 pip move from like 8 to 9 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah.
And everything's just kind of went away. It'll kind of spike up and then spike down and then just kind of go sideways till London.
Yeah. So like now it's like you got to be like real like when now if you trade Asian session, you got to be like real like sharp with your like targets. Like quick scout moves because the way it's moving. Like it's a lot of pullbacks.
Yeah, I think if you were gonna still do Asian, you'd probably have to drop into like a 5 minute to really get a quick scalp from like a supporter or resistance because it's gonna stay within that like 1 hour or 30-minute little range it's in. If
Yeah.
it breaks out, it's gonna just fake out and come right back in. So if you can get a quick 5 minute scalp, I think you could do it that way. But I mean, I don't do the 5 minutes, so kind of just I'm just waiting for the session to start moving again, and then we're gonna start. We'll start hitting it like we used to be. But until then, we just gotta wait. Like I got guys in the group, and like I was saying last month, they caught me almost every single session in the range because I'd be like, okay, today's the day. GJ's gonna move. I can feel it. It's gonna move. And I did that all month, and it just did not work. So now I'm just like, I'm just gonna wait for it to move. And there's some guys in the group that are like, oh, it's gonna move good today. I can feel it. It looks good. And I'm just like, you know what? Let's just let it move first, and then take advantage of it. Because if it moves for 3 or 4 days and you don't take the move, it's not that big of a deal. You didn't really miss out. But now we know that the market's actually going to behave a little bit better versus kind of being like, you know what, today's the day. And then in 6 months' time, it doesn't move at all. It's like, well, now you just kind of ruined, is just messing up your day. So I'm just kind of hanging out and waiting for the session to start moving. And then Asian streams will start to pick up again. But until then, I feel like if I'm streaming the Asian session for 3 hours when it's not doing anything, kind of waste of my time, waste of other people's time, and it could be influencing people, making them think they should be taking a trade. When at least right now in Asian, it's just a waiting game, in my opinion.
So I know you may have a post on your Instagram. So you about to like start doing some New York sessions, like live stream?
Yeah. So Wakes Don't Lie does the New York session, and then sometimes he cuts off before the NYSE Open. Sometimes they go a little longer, but there's a lot of people. I mean, from the messages I got, that it'll just kind of be like a extended New York session stream. So pretty much once Rakil's done, I'm going to be doing the New York session. So it'll be like 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. Central Time. So it'll kind of cover the NYSE Open, and then, I mean, that's my favorite time to trade, is like 8:30 to 10:30. There's just really, really clean moves. So, and I think that'll make streams a little more fun, some better trading opportunities and whatnot. So,
And also, like, what is like magic keys? Like, I seen it like on like your videos. Like, what is like magic keys for people
oh
who
my
don't know?
gosh, they are the greatest trading tool in the world. On top of it just being super dope to have, just like you feel cool with it. It really takes your risk management and your trade management to a whole new level. So it's like this little keypad, and you can do like auto break even, you can close fulls, like full positions, custom, you can close half, open trades, just the press of a button, you drag your stop loss, you take profit. It's just super, super quick and convenient. But what I really like about it is I feel like you have to go out of your way to change your risk and like actually over risk. So I think it has a preset. You can set a preset so it'll always risk a certain percent. But if you want to risk more, you have to physically, like, you have to press a button and then change it um, from like 1 to 2 or whatever you want to change it to. And to me, it's just like, that's an extra step, just like extra energy you're using that you really probably don't need to. So if you want to start over risking and stuff like that, when you know you shouldn't be, you're kind of going out of your way to do it. And to me, that kind of, it just doesn't feel right when you try to change that, because you know what it's supposed to be at. That's why you have a preset. But when you change that, I feel like it's going to make people hesitate on trying to over risk. So I think it's really good in that aspect to at least help people not over risk. And then just like exiting positions, making break even, that's a really cool button too. So once your trade goes into profit, you can have like an auto break even. So once price hits a certain level or a certain price, it'll automatically set your trade break even, or you can have it automatically close positions as well. There's a partial stop loss button, which is great as well. And it just makes everything really, really quick. It just makes it a lot faster and better.
Yeah, I was curious about that, but I probably need to get one of those.
Yeah, it would change the game for you, man. I'm telling you, you gotta check it out. It's like one of those things you gotta do it before you know, because like I don't know how to explain it, but you gotta have it and you gotta try it and once you do it, just like, oh, okay.
See. And for like trading styles, there's many different styles of traders. Would you say are you like a scalper or a swinger, like swing trader?
Mostly scalping, for sure, with an occasional. I'll hold one for a few hours, or if I if I get like a runner that goes really good, it could turn into a swing for like a few hours, or maybe into the next session, or even like a New York session into another New York session. But definitely just scalping with occasional runners to hit those higher time frame targets.
And like, what would you say your favorite pair is? Is this just mainly GJ, or do you have other like favorite pairs like this trade?
Uh, are we talking right now or pre five, like post 5 weeks ago?
Uh,
Post 5 weeks
post
ago is
5 weeks
definitely
ago, post
definitely
GJ,
GJ.
but now you can say
Yeah.
what
So post 5 weeks ago, definitely GJ. But I've been playing with EJ a little bit, and I'm really starting to like it. So I think I might add EJ as a like official second pair, just in case GJ is misbehaving or whatever the case may be. If they both have a setup, but one looks better than the other, then I got a little breathing room on that. But I really like EJ, and then GJ is always going to be the baby.
and for like purchases while you made trading, what would you say what was one of like your biggest like purchase you made um trading that wasn't like business related?
You mean like for learning or for like a
Uh,
purchase I made for myself?
for yourself.
Definitely. Um, so for me, it wasn't always. I mean, I have two purchases I can talk about, but for me, all I wanted was to just be able to pay all my bills and not have to like worry about them, and to be able to do it with trading, like from my office in my apartment or home, wherever I'm at. So that was always like the main goal. But I was able to get. I always wanted a desktop computer that had like the glass, and then it had the RGB colors in it. So I finally got that, and then I got my number two dream car. So that was pretty cool too. So those would be the two purchases I got. But the biggest goal was always just when bills are due, just I can pay them. I don't have
Yeah.
to worry about it, because I was always really bad with financials growing up. I never, as soon as I got money, I spent it and it was gone. I didn't save anything. And then, or if bills were due, I just paid the bill and then I was back to being broke again. So it was always just, I didn't want that feeling anymore. I wanted to be able to do that and then be able to provide for my significant other as well, which I'm able to do too. So those are the two biggest ones. But I did get my car and my computer that I always wanted to.
See, yeah, that's also the thing about like trading, like, because sometimes like when you find something good, you actually make these profits that you're not used to. That could change your lifestyle. You can get things you wanted, like your wants and your needs. So like when you start to like finally be profitable and make money, do you feel like were you like prepared to handle like the results of being good in trading? Like were you able to handle like the money, like your new income generated from trading? Because some people can like handle like the money, they make money real fast, and then they go crazy, they just can't handle it, and it messes with the psychology going forward and stuff.
Yeah, no, I get you. I think what happened to me is I just it's kind of backwards, but I feel like I became stingy. So like when I didn't have money, I was always spending my money, and then now that I have the extra money, I just want to keep everything in the savings. I want to keep it in my account. Um, I'll buy little things here and there, like $20, $30, whatever. But in terms of big purchases, I just like to. It's like I don't want to give away my money. I like having it, seeing it in my account. It makes me feel comfortable. So I feel like as where I'm at now from where I was, I've become, I'd say, more responsible or or stingy. But I like to hang on to my money, and I guess once I get that next level, I don't know. I mean, probably just be more more stingy. Want to just put more in the savings and whatnot.
And also, what would you say like your strengths and weaknesses are in like trading? Because I know trading has ups and downs, but based off your personal experience and journey.
Strength, I would definitely say, is discipline and consistency and like my mindset. Weakness. Um, I think my weakness is definitely my lack of fundamental understanding, because I really just stick to straight technical analysis, but there's a part of me that wants to get a better like economic understanding and be able to take advantage of um, just like the fundamental knowledge you can have, or when new stuff comes out, I want to be better at that. Just to have an overall better understanding, because as like an educator, I feel like I'm responsible to know that. But what I'm doing is working so well. There's no motivation really like I have in everything else to do that. So that would definitely be an area I want to improve, is really get a like a good firm understanding of the fundamental aspect of it versus just the technical.
That's true. Cause like it is like there's different styles of traders. Some traders focus on technical, some people focus on fundamental analysis. But like overall, I feel like technical analysis is definitely key, and it gives you definitely enough fundamental stuff, so it can help you make better decisions during trade setups around news.
Yeah, it would definitely help with like longer trades, or like maybe like a more swing trade opportunities.
Yeah,
And then just the fact of like having the live stream, or like even my group, I could feel more comfortable answering questions. Because typically when someone asks a fundamental question, if I don't know, I'm just like, hey, this ain't my thing. I don't know. Here's some people that are very good at it. You should probably ask them. But I feel like if I could answer those questions, it would just give me that much more of an edge.
that's true. And in like 2020, what would you say your goals are in trading for this year?
Mm, I mean, you can just say win more, lose less, I guess. Um, you mean like personal goals or trading goals wise?
I would say trading goals wise.
Um, just more financial freedom, and then I want to start paying off. Um, I'd like to make some hefty payments on some school loans and really knock those out, and then pay my car off as quick as possible.
And at this rate you're going right now, where do you see yourself like in the next 5 years? Not just in trading, but also in life, like both. So,
Trillionaire, just trillionaire. Um, I don't know. I got a lot of ideas on what I want to do. I definitely will still be streaming and trading and having a group. Um, but I got some bigger plans I'd like to set into place. I just don't have the information that I need right now to do that yet. But I know eventually, as time goes, I'll get to that. So just starting to reach these more adult goals. It'll be like what's the word? Like a consistent, like like income streams from other sources just by outside of trading. Like I have my group and YouTube and Google and stuff that I get paid from as well from trading, but I'd like to expand that so there's just more comfortability, and it can be um, less dependent on trading money. Um, so like if there's a bad week or a bad month, I still have plenty of other places bringing in money to um, just keep everything on track.
that's true. Yeah, I mean it's good. I feel like once you know how to trade, then it's like what's next? You feel me? Then right now you're doing YouTube, like building your platform on YouTube, and then you're doing your groups. So you constantly could just do new things based off expanding like the knowledge and skill sets you bring to like the marketplace.
Yep. Yeah, and then it's just keep growing that and see where it goes. I mean, like I said, I got a bunch of ideas, so I'm just gonna keep throwing them out there, and if they work, they work. If not, then try the next one.
Yeah. And what do you think about bots? 'Cause I know nowadays, like this year, like a lot of people are creating like bots for like signals. Like, I feel like well, definitely this year, like a lot of traders are trying to get into like learning how to create a bot and create signals to keep it like automated for like people to like use our bots. Like, what's your opinion on that?
The signals. Yeah, I don't want to bash anyone or say anything bad, but my opinion would be I'm gonna stay away from signals just because the way I see it and from what I've been told and I agree with is like if you do signals, I can't think of the word. You rely on somebody else to make money for you. So what happens when that person's not there? Now you got to fend for yourself, and you're kind of just SOL because you didn't learn anything. So now you're back to where you started before those signals. So that's where I would stay on signals. Is you're better off learning it on your own so you can make your money and not rely on somebody else to do it for you or try to do it. And then the bots, I think the bots are cool. I've never used one, so I don't know too much about them, but I think it's a cool idea. But again, I would prefer to enter my own money into the market and exit it than have a robot do it. But I think it's a cool idea, and for some people, if they know what they're doing, and the bot works with whatever strategy they're doing, I think it's a great way to build up a side income, or if that's their main income, I mean, and they can consistently make money and they really don't even have to be at the charts because they're busy with other stuff. I mean, hey, you got to do what you got to do, but I like trading. I like entering and analyzing and doing that on my own. So I definitely wouldn't want to give that up.
And like, what like motivates you like to do these live streams? Like, get up every time the 8 session, like Monday through Fridays. What keeps you going to like be on these lives?
People, honestly. I mean, before trading, I wanted to be like a personal trainer and help people healthy, like get healthy, or in shape or whatever it was. So that was always a really big passion, was just helping people that way, or training, whatever you want to call it. And then it just never really clicked or worked. And then I found trading, and I had a few buddies when I first started. They wanted some help, so then I started helping them, and I was just like, wow, I'm pretty good at this. I can relate to people really well, and I'm good at explaining stuff. I'm pretty patient for the most part in terms of answering questions, repeating myself. And I don't know, I just thought I was really good at it. So then started doing that, and it was kind of the same thing as the training because I'm still helping people. It's not fitness related, but I mean, can help them like with their mindset, psychology, trading, and then some financial goals. So, or at least help someone in a bad financial spot get into a better one. And that always felt pretty cool, especially when it's like people in my group. Like if they came to me and they had a dream of doing it full time. There's been quite a few now that have actually gone to full time and
Nice.
been able to like take care of their families or whatever the goals were when they started, they can do now. And it just feels pretty good to know that like you help that person change their life, just like Rakeel, Ted, Monty, and D Gibby helped me change mine. So I think it's just the people. And then I just love doing it, honestly. Like winning, losing. I lost all month last month in Asian session. I still showed up every day. So I just love doing it.
Yeah, cause like right now, I'm trying to like right now I'm doing like lives on like London session, but like I'm just starting out, so it'd be like few people or no people, and my time zone is like early in the morning because it's London, so it's like it takes a lot to like get up at least that early, and trade. I know like Monty, like his live stream be like lit, everyone be on that like live stream in London session. It's like I guess because he's in UK, so it's like early in the morning there, like compared to where I'm at, where it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, which is like tiring.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
pretty early.
yeah, it takes a lot to like be consistent, especially do live streams. So I respect people who do live streams and trading, where people are watching and want to know the setups or what they think and stuff, and be active.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the hardship with doing this kind of stuff is when you do it and nobody shows up, you kind of, part of you could be like, you feel not appreciated, or like what you're doing isn't good enough, but it's not the case at all. It's just, you just got to do it long enough and you got to keep doing it. Like when I started the live streams, I think the first 4 months, we barely cracked 100 people. But I knew every single one of those 86 people that showed up pretty darn well. And then just out of nowhere, it just starts growing. So like, I mean, like for your stream, you just got to keep doing it, because it's not, I feel like a lot of people, they think like, oh, someone already does New York, 2 people do London, or maybe 3, however many, whatever. There's not enough room for me, but that's not true. There's so many people in the world that even if people are already watching someone else, maybe they just, regardless if you're a better trader or not, or your streams are more fun, maybe they just like you as a person better. And there's going to be plenty of people that like what you do, or what Monty does, or I don't know who else streams London, but there's going to be plenty of people that maybe they just don't like one person, or maybe they relate to this person better, so they learn better. So everyone has a different perspective. So I don't think people need to be like, oh, there's not enough room for me. There's plenty of room for everyone, and everyone's going to have something different to offer, which just expands the help we can bring to the community to help more people. So definitely just keep doing your thing for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Because I mean, it's like I said, YouTube Live. That's why I found you. I'm like, okay, and then I appreciate the value you bring to like agent session around that session time, which not many people trade live during agent session. So
Yeah, I don't
and
know
like,
if anyone does.
yeah, and I know like you talk about like losses. So what's your like thought process and how you handle losses in the market? 'Cause I know like some people who lose, they feel like they suck because they lose. They don't really understand like there's many reasons why you could lose a trade, but not really mean you suck because you lost a trade. So what's your thought process of how you handle losses in the market?
How I handle it now, it was either just probability just didn't play out, or I took a dumb trade. Most of the time, it was just probability didn't play out, because in Asian session, that was mostly all of my losses. New York, I was trading probably 80 to 90% in New York session, and then Asian was just crushing it, like in a bad way. So I just need to stop trading Asian. And I mean, like where I'm at now, it's just kind of like, as long as I always stick to my 1 or 2 rules I have, I'm gonna be fine. And if I don't, then that was the mistake. I didn't stick to my rules, but that rarely ever happens. But in the beginning, it was always, okay, what am I doing wrong? Why aren't I winning? I need to be winning every time. Like, where did I mess up? And I think it was just, sometimes you didn't mess up. Sometimes the trade just didn't work out. And if you do the same thing 10 more times, you're probably going to win 9 or 10 more times. So it was just a matter of perspective. Like, you can take the same strategy, and if you take 100 trades, I think Ted's the one who really ingrained this into my brain. Take the same strategy, do it 100 times. What happens? And I know if I take my strategy 100 times, I'm going to win at least 80, 75, worst case scenario. But either way, worst case scenario or best case, like if I win 85, 90, I'm making money regardless.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of not letting those few losses each week or each month make you change what you're doing. I think that's where a lot of people mess up, is they lose and then they change stuff. Their strategy could have worked out perfectly. They could have just won 10 in a row, and then they lost 1, and now they want to change something. That doesn't, people got to just understand that you're going to lose, but most of the time you can win.
Yeah. So I feel like when people see like pay attention to a lot of people like screenshots of their profits and stuff after like that same trading session, they feel like, dang, what am I doing wrong? They have all these wins, all these stacks. So then people like change up their strategy, which affects trade. It also causes their profit to change because now the strategy is a little different. So they used to make some kind of profits. Now they might not because they changed it because they had like a loss. And they feel like, oh, it's them because they see other people winning. So I feel like because people like social media, people like to look at other people's screenshots, so they feel like, dang, I missed the same setup or I didn't stay as long, so let me just kind of like change up what I do, and then it could affect how they like get the results from that by watching other people.
Yep. Yeah. You just got to know that copying is only going to be more of a short-term gain versus long-term in the trading game. You got to have your own like strategy or at least rules, because then it's got to be what you're comfortable with. So and so might be comfortable letting their account go halfway into drawdown and just holding it to their target because they're that confident.
Yeah.
Where the other person, if their account goes halfway into drawdown, they're going to be having a heart attack and go to the hospital, and just like it's just not, they're not going to be comfortable with it. So you got to do what you're comfortable with. If you don't like losing more than 1%, then don't do it. But other person might be able to handle 3, 5, 6% drawdown and just take another trade right away after. So you got to figure out what you're comfortable with, and that really helps a lot too.
I agree. And I got one last question. So, based off your experience with trading over these years, what would you say is like one of like your scariest trades like you ever made? I mean, made you like panic.
The scariest one?
Yeah.
Does it have to have a good or a bad result?
Either or.
Well, for a good one, and it wasn't really scary. It was just kind of like I wasn't expecting it. So I think it was a few months ago in Asian. I placed a trade, and I don't know what happened, but it threw 2 10 lots in, and I think my total risk with the stop loss was only supposed to be like $95 per pip. And it threw 2 10 lots, which was much more. That was 200 per pip, and I closed one immediately, and then it took off like 20 pips. So it could have been a really big, good winner, but because I didn't want to see the loser be that big either, I closed it and made it the proper size. But it was just kind of like, whoa, I've never seen 2 10 lots. Those numbers are changing quick. So then I got out of one and then left the other one go, but it just kind of threw me off. And then I think the worst trade ever was in the very, very beginning. I was only trading news because for some reason I thought only trading news was the best way to do it. So I would just wait for a red folder news. I'd put buys and sell stops on. And I don't know what day it was. It might have been, I have no idea what news event it was, but the news came out. My MT4 froze. And then 20 minutes later, my account was just gone. It triggered both buys and sell stops with the spread, and everything was gone. And it sucked because the day before, I made like 1,100 on news in like a second. And then the next day, everything was gone. So
I miss the good old days when NFP was actually moving like quick, like 70 pips or more, like real quick. But now, like ever since Corona, the NFP like news ain't the same.
Yeah, everything will come back eventually, but just gotta get there, I guess. Gotta let all the media hype kind of settle down and let everything get back to normal.
But yeah, that's all the questions I have today for this interview. I appreciate your time and hopping on this and letting people know a little bit more about your live streams and a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate you having me. It was fun.
No problem. Well, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, man. You too.
Bye.
Bye.